Hey y'all, what up? What up? Let me make sure that let's see. Yeah, Josh, I should be in here. Okay, well, I haven't done a show in a while, so just let me know in the comments um if you can hear me, I guess. Cuz I don't have my little avatar showing. Anyway, wow, this is quite the story. Yeah, I was just talking about my little old lady, Miss Biddy. She had a bath today and she's allergic to grass, but she loves to be outside. Anyway, I won't get into that. Um, oh yeah, I did pin the link because this is just impromptu. And anyway, I'm just gonna kind of stumble through this because I'm still absorbing it myself. It's all things that I had, you know, looked at before with extensive research, if you will, long ago. And I know we've all been hearing about the victims here on YouTube and everything. I've been through a lot, and I could go through all of that. But with this newfound news, it's like it brings me a little more hope, let's say, that things will be taken care of or stop at some point. I don't know, because a lot of this started here on YouTube. It's still going on, and well, I have the share screen on, and I can go over a few things. I'm not going to get ugly. I've been attacked here recently a lot, still because of the Oregon standoff. That's me personally, but leading up to that was a lot of things that went on and that I've gone over. And when I talk about, really bother certain people because they've attacked me on those grounds. Not just myself. I'm only speaking for myself because others aren't here. I don't have others' personal stories in front of me. And a lot of people don't even know about this information. They just know that these things do go on, and they don't take such things personally. They just stay away from these ugly people and go on about their life, in which, I'm trying harder to do um, in my life. You know, let the dogs bark, the caravan moves on. Uh, the whole world doesn't stop spinning. The rest of us are progressing and moving and taking care of our own personal needs in life, our loved ones and whatnot. And the other stuff is just ugly and unproductive, to put it nicely. Um, if I don't like you, don't click the link and don't come in, because I just won't let you. I'm not going to fight about this anymore, because the facts are coming out now. I've actually had messages relayed to me, supposedly from, not this group, but from this group before. Yeah, because this goes so deep. I don't even know, because I don't even want to talk about some of it, because these people have actually reached out. Some of the Oregon standoff creepos, who now think they're going to have some kind of YouTube Rico bullshit and have me involved, have actually reached out to some of these people who are pretty much, now we know that they work with Homeland Security. They've told on themselves. They have filed IC3 forms about myself and my family, based on our religion, color of skin, country of origin. It's been very ugly, but they'll squeal that they're the victims. And so we don't name them, even though their friends don't like doxers. You know, they're doxers. One in particular. I'm going to say one in particular because she just simply can't stop. Um, anyway, uh, that whole thing, I'll probably get into that later. Let's just get into this now, because some people are probably need to go to bed because they live productive lives and whatnot. So let's go ahead and look at this tweet. Um, let me go over there. Okay. So, this is a thread, and this involves the Oregon standoff. And those that are familiar with the Oregon standoff, who have followed me for a long time, already know these names. That's why I'm not going to do a deep dive into this, because it goes in so many directions. Excuse me, but let's start with let's just follow the thread. Excuse me. Let me hide that little thing. This report was unfamiliar to me before today. Some very interesting characters and names I hadn't seen mentioned for several years. It shows a long time relationship between Michael Lewis, Arthur Myers, who's Screwy Louie. You remember Screwy Louie, and down there on the border in Arizona, and the rape trees, and what's that guy's name? The one that went down and first said, "Oh yeah, this is really a rape camp or whatever for kids," and then he was like, "No." Sawyer, I forget his first name. Anyway, so it shows a long time relationship between Michael Lewis, Arthur Myers, and Tim Foley, pipeline of misfits, OMD, which is Operation Mutual Defense, is what OMD is. And I believe that's what Gary Hunt was part of, and Ryan Payne. I have like a ton of information on this. And again, for those who are interested or whatever, I might do some standalone videos, but probably not, because what it does is it gets myself and my family attacked. And these people want to put out all this crazy information when they actually get it from me, and then they somehow knit me into it and make themselves. It's just a really bizarre. But that, I believe that's who they're honeypotting here. Anyways, all of these same idiots who have even reached out to some of these players. One of them, Saad Kuza Salman, who, by the way, he contacted me, Brenda. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, they tell on themselves. They tell on themselves, and wow, will it end up in anything? Who knows? Because again, it's online bullshit. And one of them, Becky, you need to quit picking at the scab, because as much as Brenda and I have animosity between us, she's moved on. Even she's moved on, and you can't leave it alone. It's sick, and everybody sees it. And that's just one of the products from this. We also, I don't know. I'm not going to say names again. I'm not going to go further into that, because we all know. We all know. And I have even had private messages with other people who have been attacked by these people for other parts of this. And then somehow they've knitted me into some YouTube Rico bullshit and actually buy the story of those who have stalked me for years. And I'm just like, you know what? How about you just stay the fuck away from me and mine? Okay. So, and y'all know who you are. The ones who don't like doctors, but it's okay for ones who, okay, whatever. Yeah. And believe that certain people are victims when they are absolutely not. They're the perpetrator. Okay, we could look at Jeffrey Dahmer and all these other weirdos, and back into their childhood, and you cry too, I suppose, if we were sick enough. It pisses me off, and it goes right along with what I'm going to talk about here. Okay, back to Screwy Louie down on the border. A lot of you know about that. A lot of you don't know about. A lot of people. There's a few people on here that don't even know they're involved in this. How involved they are in it, and have stepped in it, and it just didn't take off as much as it did. And I mentioned it in one of my last videos that got a couple people really upset about the local activity in North Dallas. It was spurned by a lot of this. Anyway, that goes into there was a twin camp for with Screwy Louie, and I won't bring up that one guy's name, but anyway, a lot of people here that have attacked me made Facebook posts that I'm a pedo and all this other shit, based on their love of this honeypot. They're the flies that were trapped into this honey. Anyways, there was a twin camp of Michael Myers, what is it, Veterans on Patrol or whatever, that was in El Paso, Texas, Freedom Home for the Forgotten, but it didn't take. And there's one guy here on YouTube, and some of these people have been even interviewed by him and everything, and don't even realize how deep that all that goes. So hopefully, now that we're finding out this information, hopefully we know that Homeland Security is aware of these people and the threats that they have made. And a lot of them don't know who I've talked to, what agencies, and my FOIA. Wow, y'all have been busy, very, very busy. And those things backfire. And we may just see that with a couple of people that I'd been nice enough to, even after they accused me of working with or for Thomas or DeFango. It's so fucking old I can't even remember anymore. And then they're buying into this bullshit. There are legitimate victims out there. Um, anyway, a lot. And this was a whole honeypot on the whole country. To get all these idiots following it, and we've seen all of that. I have a playlist on OMD. That was a lot of the whole reason that that one person was a victim, but I'm no longer involving myself in her issues because I tried. Again. Um okay, so a link to this tweet is in the description box. So, like, yeah, if it's getting late for you, and whatever, and you want to go to bed, you can read about it or watch it later. This is just like a weird report that they have. I actually have a whole playlist. I'll try to find that and put it in the um description box of now this is Operation Mutual Defense, and then there was another group called Operation Mutual Aid, OMA. So I'm not sure if it was the same and then they changed their name. Like, I'd have to go through all my notes again and everything. So this is like little notes that they had, and they do their vetting and, like, all this stuff. And um this is all weird stuff, and it happened to me again. I have no problem saying, well, I just won't, because she's such a fucking victim. She even come out and said in a video and said, I was pretending to be your friend and everything. That's what these people are. It's all weirdo stuff. Oh, I found out this one about that one, and who's getting what, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so if you look at this, it's really a lot of nonsense. But it's funny how serious they take it. But it's funny, but not funny, because I mean, it turned into quite a serious situation. But how full of themselves that they are. Like, let's see, due to the usurpation by Ryan Payne, a void was created in leadership, which led to major infighting among the arriving units, and a power struggle ensued between Ryan Payne's group, Jerry DeLamis's group, Three Percenters, and Oath Keepers, and the constitutional militia under my control. Okay, so I think that must be. I believe. Let's see. I believe this was written by Gary Hunt, but I'm not sure on that. I mean, I'm just not going to look. Let's see. It doesn't say, but I think it was. Again, I'll put the OMD playlist, which is, I believe, narrated by Gary Hunt. I'll put that in the description box in a little bit. Let's see. So, they talk about things and other people. Casey Massey, who I've talked about him before. Um, I really wish I had a lot more time to spend on this. because Casey Massey, before he was, the story is that he was found dead, because he had run off. He was afraid he was going to be charged again or something. Which is interesting because Casey Massey, uh, which I found out by reading, by the way, Gary Hunt's work, because he is an actual journalist. He does do right things, and it's okay to read things even from people we don't like, and that doesn't mean we're working with them. Okay, that's what happens with these people. And covering this subject, my docs has floated around pictures of my daughter, like y'all wouldn't believe, just by relaying public information, and then they'll squeal literally like a pig and talk about butchering pigs, and squeal constitution and free speech, and by the very same ones. Yeah, and then make themselves as the victim. That's the whole thing. That's the whole reason why they're involved in it, because someone's getting their health care, or someone's getting, someone's doing something to them. It's very bizarre. Anyways, they talk here about double agents. um I'm gonna just double check. Okay, so y'all can I'm just like, oh God, am I talking and y'all can't hear me? Um, that's what I wondered. I saw that Bryant Hunt, and I'm not sure. Michael Myers, I know. Um, let's see. Let me go back here. This was funny when I saw, because I just kind of proofread this a little bit. Double agents. A female provocateur of note is Deborah Swan of Texas. She lures men, then turns on them. It was disclosed by Ryan Payne that she works with or for Gary Hunt's self-proclaimed Operation Mutual Defense, advisory board member. They always turn on each other and blab or whatever, just like we see on YouTube. I mean, their followers are like the same as they are. It's very weird. But anyways, okay, so that's the report. Let's go back to the tweet, because y'all can be on your own. I found out that was funny. Yeah, they have a thing about women, Muslims, all of the propaganda bullshit, the border wall, all this stuff. So the crazy militia nutters, now we find out Foley appears to be a paid informant for Homeland Security. Um, now, this is Tim Foley here. This is Screwy Louie. This is Melvin Lee. I think this is Melvin Lee, and it is this, who is this? Let's see. Melvin Lee. Yeah, then this must be Mark McConnell over here on the far right. Oh boy, somebody better get out some handkerchiefs, because just bringing him up, I mean, these people will be crying. Um and they're like, "Oh no, somebody's actually doing something about these weirdos." And of course they are the weirdos. So they don't like it. Um I thought that other picture was here, the Blaine one. Here's Tim Foley. John Cooper. John Ritzheimer, Blaine Cooper, and Tim Foley. Now, Tim Foley and Blaine was on a show. I believe I did see Mark McConnell. I don't have it right in front of me, so I don't want to say for sure. And I believe I saw at one point Sod on a Cartel Land show. And Tim, you might know of Cartel Land with Tim Foley, that is the HBO show here. And Melvin Lee used to have that channel here on YouTube, the Patriotic Warriors, which Sod was on, and Blaine and John and all of them were on that channel. But they took that down at the time of, because I believe Melvin, or not Melvin Lee, but I'm not sure. Or let's see. Mark McConnell was the owner of it or something, and they said, no, we don't. Y'all are just going too nuts with this. We're taking it down. It's become too hateful, basically. And I believe that was a message from Melvin Lee. Was one of the last videos on there. Anyway, so back to Tim Foley, who might be, or the actually works for Homeland Security. You might be aware of Tim Foley from Cartel Land, HBO special or show. So I'm not sure how many, or even if it's still on. I don't even know where it plays on, what it plays on. And by the way, that twin camp, going back to Screwy Louie, that twin camp in Texas in El Paso, um, I had seen, what was his name? John Hildinger. I had seen him there. So they were sharing supplies and everything. It's just that the in El Paso, the Freedom Home for the Forgotten, it never really took off. And I have pictures of all of that and how all that went down and video. I have a lot of information on all these people and everything. And is it a coincidence that I get attacked and whatever? Who knows how deep it goes? I don't know. I could make videos to make myself a fucking victim all the time. I mean, y'all wouldn't believe what their followers have done. So it's absolutely unbelievable. So, anyways, uh, let's look at this. Let me see, show this thread. So I'm wondering, like, they just say it here, like, so. I'm just still absorbing this. I'm sorry. So this original tweet in this picture was from OMD, Operation Mutual Defense. Exposed. Oh, exposed. Okay. So, all right. So they're just putting some things we know that Mark McConnell was an FBI informant. At what point he became an informant or whatever, I think that it was later in the game, once he was already honey trapped, and then he was like, wow, this is somebody could really get hurt here. And then, I don't think he went in, but I don't know. But he said that himself. So I'm only bringing that up because facts, what we know for a fact. Screwy Louie. And again, these people are just like, they got their start on YouTube. And that's, and the creeps that we still see creeping around that have been their followers for like forever, and they still follow like the same propaganda. It's not like they're just like, hey, we're gonna make ourselves. No, it's a whole campaign against Muslims and the border wall, and oh, they're sending over rapists, and oh, they're giving them all free health care. That's where all of this started. And when I started getting attacked, and then I'm still getting attacked and doxxed, up until just last night was the latest attack. Because I would just ask in the chat, like, do you have a link to this information of what you're saying, or this video that you're showing? Is there a link? Like, I want to know, is this happening, or what? And then they got real upset and didn't like that. They didn't want to talk about facts or anything. And that's before we started seeing the term fake news being used and not, and then figuring out, that, yeah, that we're pretty much being trolled. Um, just wow, and then it's just, they take it to a personal level, and then they want to hate me on a personal level. So hold on just a second. I gotta do something here because these people look at everything that I have. I mean, everything. Okay. They will go through all my shit. Um, okay, so I'm looking at y'all's comments. Y'all are messing around. Yeah, it is crazy about the informants, and that we already know about. Whoops, gosh darn it, I got too many things going. We already know about um Mark McConnell, and it makes me wonder like how far it goes really, because the last time I was looking into it and did a deep dive live stream, I was talking about Casey Massey, and again, there's no like, I don't know. It's just really weird how they said they just found him dead and everything. And again, um, it was interesting that I was talking to other people who cover, information crosses, and I had found out from um, Gary Hunt's work that Casey Massey, as a child, had spent a long time in the salesmanship club in Dallas, which is a club for troubled kids, and they the local businesses pitch in money um, to help troubled kids, basically, and they just call it salesmanship because a lot of the people that donate money are actually salesmen. Um, and you'll find troubled kids that turn their life around make wonderful salesmen. Um, I'm looking at some other stuff that I had put in here. I really don't think I want to go into the ugliness part of it. But here's another thing that I had found, another tweet that I had found. Let's have a look at that. And this goes along with a lot that we follow as well, and crosses the same lines. Um, I'll try to put the link to this in the description box as well. Um, so I found this tweet, and it says, "I'm minding my biz watching 13 Hours, which was the flick about Benghazi. When I look up the book it's based on, it turns out it was released by Ed Butowski and Mark Oz Geist. What really caught my attention was the charity they created in conjunction with the project. If y'all aren't familiar with Ed Butowski, that's who spoofed the Seth Rich files. That's a really deep dive as well, and goes in a very sick uh, area. And again, it was propaganda. Ed Butowski ended up. There's videos of it, of him and Fox News apologizing to the Seth Rich's family for spreading propaganda, and a lot of YouTube players were involved in that, and so that's just another deep dive. And I'm pussyfooting around it. We're talking about the shadow box stuff, um, and whatnot. It's just amazing how the propaganda uh, pipeline works, and it's much like, well, I say it all. I just call it vanilla ISIS all the time. It's much of the same type propaganda that ISIS or whatever, the Taliban and whatever, use to provoke violence and a narrative that is not necessarily correct. Roger Stone, and did y'all know? that Roger Stone was the spokesman for the Bundys, right? And that Pete was in jail at the time, but Deb was there in Las Vegas, and I believe Aaron was there at that same time. I don't know if he'd gone to that dinner or whatever, but Roger Stone was their spokesperson, anyways. And in this tweet, Roger Stone claims now in his Telegram post that Steve Bannon was a Robert Mueller informant who is merely a grifter. Stone calls for Bannon to be tried and jailed. This is just recently that this was posted. So they again with the infighting, these people are always infighting. Here again, here it all ties together because it's all the same bullshit. Let's look at this one real quick. It's the same talking points. It's the same hatred that we hear, and then when I call it out, they get really, really upset because they believe this. This man was actually good. I mean, he said he had explosives, and I'm pretty sure he did. I'm not sure. They de-escalated it and everything and got him out of there. But before, as he was there, this was just the other day. This was August 19th. Um, I'll just read it. The suspect in today's standoff rattled off a bunch of conspiracies on Facebook Live on his way to DC. Election fraud, Trump reinstatement, weird stuff about coins. One, though, seemed personal, and this gets really sad. Afghan refugees would get free health care, he said, and he doesn't. And it's sad because I know a lot of people who actually believe that. Um, A refugee actually might, but an illegal alien, no. And if y'all have a link, please send me a link to where that's happening. I mean, with solid evidence that happens. Um, and his wife is really sick. Says here, Ray Roseberry, the suspect in the DC standoff, said he went to get stem cell treatment this week, but couldn't. His insurance didn't cover it. He said his wife had cancer that needed surgery. Her insurance didn't cover it. So I mean, that's really sad. And then when you these people who are already in a traumatic situation, I mean that's sad that we live in America and then that's even happening. And and I bet you if you looked it up that both him and his wife are productive people. I mean, I don't think that they're lazy and they sit around all day, and that's the reason why that their insurance isn't covering things. That is our country right now, and it's nobody's fault but our own, our leaders or whatever. But they want to blame all of this on their talking points. Oh, it's the Muslims. Oh, it's the refugees. Oh, it's someone else is taking their goods. It's always someone stealing their shit. And basically, I've been attacked on those same talking points, which were used as political games. So we know that now more than we did. But a lot of these types are narcissists, and once you unmask them and just say, "Look, you were wrong," um, and they really go off. They go nutty, man. So here this comes up a lot on conservative Facebook pages that undocumented immigrants are getting access to free advanced medical care. When you look it up on Google, you get this AP debunk, Associated Press, from right before the election, but absolutely nobody is Googling it. And it has a link there. So like right within the thread. So it just pisses me off when people actually believe that, because we're not going to get anywhere. I mean, people are literally dying while we're believing such bullshit. Suffering, not just dying, but suffering, watching their loved ones die, suffering themselves, going without insurance, traveling, selling their house and moving so that they can get health care. All kinds of situations are going on. And meanwhile, these people are attacking the people even who are sick. It's really disgusting. And that's what's going on. So, doxing them, doxing their children, for even talking about it. And so, um, mm, again, if you it, if I rebuttal it, and uh, I shouldn't have to go in further about myself or my situation or anything else that I have brought up. It bothers people when I tell them that I came to YouTube to make money. Well, that it used to be. I took an early retirement, and before or around that time, it was in all the magazines. Even the internet wasn't even really like that big of a deal, and even in like country, what was it, country garden and home and gardens, whatever. um I'd sit there with my friends and we'd drink coffee and look at magazines, whatever, and it was everywhere. Hey, want to make extra money, go on YouTube or whatever. And there kind of used to be money, I guess, in it, in monetizing, but there's not anymore. And so that's like part of this big rico thing that's been talked about, um that I'm some kind of agent or whatever. These people on YouTube are nuts. YouTube is some kind of, um, and not just YouTube, but the internet. I mean, YouTube is just a big player in it, from what I have observed personally myself. It's a tool that's used to honey trap these types, and so you just have to let them go off. You know, in third world countries, or societies that have fallen for this stuff, they ignore it. So, and I used to be like, you should talk about it, or, and oh my God, it's such a, terrible things are happening. And they're like, no, let the dogs bark. The caravan moves on. We eat good food. We have good conversations. We enjoy each other's company, and we let the dogs bark outside. We enjoy ourselves in our own life. Let them do their thing, go out and howl at the moon, whatever the fuck they do, and we leave it alone. And it used to really bother me, but now I totally get it. Happened to me, it just clicked with me the other night. Again, I looked it up the other night again, and I was like, huh. Now I get it. But I won't deep dive into that. That's more of a religious thing that I was reading and looking into. Um, Anyways, some other things that aren't related. Um, I have I have my website. You can look there. There's a lot of things there and links there. I won't put you through all that. Um, Going back over here and see those comments. Okay, you're welcome, Dan. Yeah, I'll put the. Oh, I don't even have a pen and paper. So just the OMD. I think just the OMD playlist. I'll put that. What that was there was Operation Mutual Aid, and then there was Operation Mutual Defense. And I'm not sure if Gary Hunt was part of both of them or how that worked. But there was that split up at Bundy Ranch at when I believe it was Oath Keepers who came in and said, excuse me, it was Stuart Rhodes. Number one, he kept visiting the whorehouses. Then number two, he came in and started a rumor, if I remember right, that they were going to be drone striking Bundy Ranch. The government was going to come after them. And then so Jerry, like, they kicked him out of the camp, and Jerry DeLamus took over or whatever. Yeah, I need to put together some other playlists, because I actually have um I believe it's this same group that they're talking about. I think it was the one of those groups that was mentioned earlier in the report was OMD or OMA. There was Jerry DeLamis's group and then another group of militias. And they really didn't like the group, Jerry DeLamis's group, who I believe he's still in prison. He was involved big time at that time. Uh, um, as a matter of fact, Trump had chosen him. He was like leader of veterans or whatever. Trump had given him some title or something during the um, election, build up to the election, um, in which Trump was elected. Anyways, he's still in jail. He's still in prison, I believe. And his wife, Susan DeLamis, this goes so far. I should really take my time and try and chart this all out, because his wife, Susan DeLamis, is a representative, I believe, for New Hampshire. And I have a picture of her. Of course, Jerry's in prison with Joey Gibson. And is Roger Stone in that picture? But it's a whole player of anyway. So now we have the Proud Boys, or Patriot Prayer anyway, um, who we know is riddled with informants. I'll try to find that, because I found that actually on a tweet. Anyway, I'll try to put something else together. Actually, a show at a later date, more than likely. But I don't know. Again, like I said, because I'm really sick of being attacked over just sharing public information, or even my views, or situations that I've been in personally, because people don't want to believe it, or they want to say it's fake and whatever, because you have that crowd too who say that, then when you show them, hey, look, there really are actors involved here and everything, and then they hate you more because, oh my God, then I don't know. It's really bizarre. People are really bizarre. I've met a lot of good friends though. So anyways, I'll try to find that picture and put the playlist in the description box. Um, it would be nice if we could have people that followed this, that maybe still believe it, that could jump on the stream and behave themselves and have a healthy debate, um, an open discussion. But it's beyond that point now with me. They do their own things, and then they all, file IC3s and call the FBI on each other. I do not. So, and other people, because I have blocked some people lately, and other people that buy into it, it's not personal. It's for personal safety at this point. Other people that buy into it, or that I see in other streams and everything, it's not a jealousy thing. It's not, oh, I can't believe this one talks to that one or whatever. It's like, that's fine. Stay over there. Stay away from me. Because again, right down to people that I know work with Tim Foley, for a fact, one in particular has reached out to me, that somebody here from YouTube had contacted him with, trying to get me hurt. Serious stuff. I already had it lined up to show you anyway. And he actually laughed. And it was like, oh, okay, then I know. And so they tell on themselves if you just leave it alone. But then again, there's no paycheck here involved. There's no payoff. I'm not monetized. It's my free time that I have put into things, um, that's actually attacked. And they like doing that. And I have a lot of other things I need to be doing in my personal life. And I enjoy a lot of people that I've met in their projects that they're working on. Um, so yeah, that's I'm looking at the comments again. Yeah, I believe it was Stuart Rhodes who started that. It was a rumor, probably bad information, just like we see here on YouTube all the time. He started a rumor that they were going to be drone striking, and I believe it was him. I'm not sure. It might have been Jerry DeLamis's group that came in and started that rumor, but I know that they kicked Stuart Rhodes off the Bundy Ranch. Oh, okay. You're talking about Mal here. Yeah, and remember, I don't remember that. I don't remember the drone strike scare at Malheur. But I do remember when Screwy Louie went there and they got into that fist fight, remember? And then his friend had that bloody nose and there was that big close up shot of his face. And um, I remember it was that one YouTuber, one who got away, who kept saying the whole time that he thought it was filmed ahead of time. And I've seen a few clips where I'm like, man, it's like almost, I mean, that one clip of where Sean Anderson is saying, if you see the feds, kill them, come to the refuge. And it's you can almost see that it's like outtakes, because then that one weird guy that's on the crane or whatever behind him is like, FBI, what you gonna do when we come for you, whatever. It's almost like he's like laughing, almost. It's really bizarre. um and then remember we saw, um oh, the last guy standing, what was his name? Fry, David Fry. We saw him sign the Gavin Syme had left the camera on, and we saw him sign that whatever the form that you have to fill out and give permission when you're going to be on camera, when they're going to use footage of you, the release. Yeah. So anyway, so then it all just kind of goes together. It's all really bizarre. And David Fry liked Muslims, though. Remember, he was weird, but he kind of liked ISIS, so he went kind of a little too far there, just a tad. And I think he hated Jews, so he was really bizarre. Um, anyways, so I'll just go ahead and end this, y'all. I just wanted to share that, and again, I'll put the playlist. You can just see the links and do your own research. Again, I'm really sick of what I go through from these sick people, because there's not a paycheck. Maybe I'll start writing. I can monetize that or whatever, and share links. And even then, is it worth it? Because they actually pass my docs around and say that I'm a pedo and shit. I mean, these are that's why we have this going on, to honey trap this part of our society, which has embedded themselves amongst us like a disease, who start a lot of shit and hurt a lot of people. So, anyways, thanks for coming. Y'all have a good one. I'll go ahead and play an outtake and then end it.
Yes, sir. Well, if the wife and I are fussing, buddy, that's all right. Me and that woman got a license to fight. Why don't you mind your own business? Mind your